Good morning, everybody. How are we this morning? It is breakfast with Beck time. We are live. If you are joining me and you're watching me live, you'll see a little live up here in the top corner. If you're watching me on the replay, let me know either way whether you're watching. We always love to have people come on and comment and let us know that you're there. Oh, why is this not working? I'm just trying to get my comments up so I can see everybody's comments. So my computer doesn't want to play with me today. So let me know if you're watching. Let me introduce myself. My name is Beck Hall. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Melbourne in Australia. And I come live here every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Now, let me just see if there's any more comments. Good morning, everybody. How are we? Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Judy. Hey, Maura. How are you? So, I come live here every Saturday morning, and I have done now for the last 5 years. I can't believe it has been 5 years since I started Breakfast with Beck. That means I have been here every Saturday morning with you guys, or just about every Saturday morning. And I went through last night and I had a look back. I have done 260 weeks. That's 5 years. 260 weeks of Breakfast with Beck. And in that time, I have actually gone live with you. I know this is going to, I know it's not all Breakfast with Beck, but I have done 357 live videos. So I've showed you 357 creative, inspirational videos. Oh, I hope they're creative, inspirational videos. So it's a huge thing for me to have done this for 5 years. And I wouldn't be here without all of you. So I just want to thank every single one of you that's tuned into my lives over the last 5 years. We all, went through a lot with COVID, and I started at the end of COVID. Well, not the end of COVID, actually it was the middle of COVID. My catalogue launch was shut down, essentially. I had done a massive event planned, ready to go, and 2 days before we were due to be meeting in person, my catalogue launch got shut down, and because we obviously couldn't go anywhere, and I was devastated. All the work that I'd done, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to take this online. So I did, and I came online for the very first Breakfast with Beck and showed you what I'd been working on, and it's evolved since then. So as I said, without you guys here, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to be celebrating this moment with me. So what I'm going to do for this special occasion of Breakfast with Beck, for anybody that places an order with me this week, and it's a $50 or more of an order, I'm going to give away a $100 voucher. So, and you can spend it with me at my online store. So just as my way to say thank you, so just pop onto the online store, pop in your $50 order, and if you place only $50 and you win, you get $100 to spend at my online store. So you're getting your money back, basically. So, but anyway, so that's me in a nutshell. My name is Beck Hall, as I said, and I am from Melbourne in Australia. So thank you very much for all joining me. Let me go through. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Jan. Hey, Chrissy, how are you? Hey, Glenda. Laura, I am feeling better. So for those that are not aware as well, as not only doing my Stampin' Up! Business, I actually work full-time during the week. So sometimes it can get a little bit much, and Wednesday was one of those days. So I took the time that I needed and just had a bit of a rest, and a rest after work. I still had to go to work. So anyway. Alright, so this morning we have Christmas coming up, and it's not very far away. So I want to show you a great idea to use our Designer Series paper to make some boxes for your gifting for Christmas. So let me flip you around, and we will get started. So I have nothing out at the moment, but what I did want to do was I wanted to use some new product that's coming out in November. So at the moment, this is only available to demonstrators. However, you can put it to your starter kit. Now at the moment we have our starter kit starting at just $60. So for $60, essentially you can buy everything that I have here. So this suite of products here is $136, and you would still have $99 left to spend on whatever you wanted. So, you know, it's a great deal. It's always a great deal to join Stampin' Up. I love the company. I've been with the company for 13 years, and I wouldn't be here still if it wasn't a great company to work for. You don't have to do what I do, however. You can just, you know, be a hobbyist and buy all your craft supplies at a discount, because that's what you get, 20% discount when you first sign up as a demonstrator. All right, so let me grab this gorgeous paper out and show you what we have here. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me on my 5th anniversary. This is my 5th year of doing Breakfast with Beck. I cannot believe it. 5 years. Unbelievable. All right, so we're using this one is called the Creative Haven Suite, and it comes with this gorgeous paper. We have books, and then you've got other paper that's non-directional on one side. What have we got? Like aromatherapy, like self-care, beauty products with that on the other side. And you get 2 sheets in each pack. We've got the green, oh that's a nice one, with the cooking on that side. And then we have the lounge chairs with the pink on that side. And then you get these sewing and haberdashery with the pool party, looks like, on that side. And then you get these 2 sheets of amazing die cuts. So all of these little die cuts are ready to go. You can just stick them. I'm not going to pull them apart or else they'll all fall out. But there's 2 sheets of those die cuts. Isn't that amazing, this paper? So as I said, this is only available on a pre-order at the moment. And but if you were to join my team, you could actually get this as part of your starter kit. So, all right, so let's pick one of these. So this is going to be not a Christmas gift, but you could use what I'm going to show you as a Christmas idea. We're just going to pick one of these ones to work with. So we need a piece of paper that's preferably non-directional. So we want a pattern that's all over and it doesn't really have a way, you know, a direction to it as such. So, of course, you guys know me, I go for the green, but I'm going to let you guys decide which colour or which one you want me to go with. So we'll go with the first one that has the most votes. So we've got 1, 2, 3 or 4. Let me know in your votes. Maura's already onto it. She likes number 3, so she wants number 3. Thanks, Maura, for your voting. Hey, Anne, how are you? Hey, Cheryl. Good morning, Linda. Thanks for joining me. Who else have we got? Glenda's joining us. Beryl's here. Hey, Renee, how are you? So number 3. Oh, number 3 looks like a popular one. We've got 3 votes for number 3. Thanks for voting, ladies. It's always helpful when we share and vote together. Cheryl says number 4. Katrina says number 4 too. Number 3 looks like the popular one. I think we're going to have to go with number 3. It's between 3 and 4, but I think number 3. All right, so let's go number 3. So we're going to grab this one out here. Now, I did show this particular box to my team. We had a team meeting on Tuesday night, and I did show this particular box to my team on Tuesday night. And I think they all... Oh, hang on. Hold, please. I've just got to get my trimmer, which is in the other room. Hang on. I'll just grab my trimmer. Oops. I'm back. Did you miss me? Did you play the elevator music? Elevator musics are always good. Finish your grocery shopping. Oh, you're up early this morning, Ruth, to get your groceries all done and put away already. That's the worst part of grocery shopping, isn't it? Putting them away. I don't mind going and doing the grocery shopping, but I don't like putting them away. Anyway, so I was teaching this to my team on Tuesday night at our team meeting, and I think they all loved it. It's just a really simple box to be able to create, and you can do it with all the tools that you have at home. Obviously we love this, you know, best trimmer in the world here. So if you don't have one of these Best Trimmer in the World, you could also add this to your starter kit and still have money to spend even if you add this Creative Haven suite to your product order as well. Alright, so we're going to cut this down to 6 inches or 15.2 centimeters, like so. So it's half a sheet of DSP that we're going to use. And then we're going to make it 28 centimeters long. So, which is about 11 inches, there, give or take. Alright, and then we're going to score it at 3.8 centimeters, which is 1.5 inches. Now what we can do is actually, if we just score it at 14 centimeters, which is 5.5 inches, so I'm going to score it at 14 centimeters, and I'm going to fold it in half, like so, and then I'm going to put it into my trimmer with the folded section here, and I'm going to score it at 3.8 centimeters, or 1.5 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that that's nice and flush. Oh, moved it, 3.8, and score it like so. Okay. Hey Sharon, hey Deb, how are you going? Good morning Grace, how are you? Hey Christine, yes, I'm feeling a lot better, thank you. Alright, so we've scored it so far at 3.8 centimeters on the edge here, the open edge, and we've scored it at 14 centimeters. So if I was to open it up, I'd have 3.8 centimeters here, 14 here, and 24.1 here. Okay, but we're just going to fold it in half again. And then I'm just going to put it here onto my trimmer with the open edge at the top here, like so. And I'm going to score it at 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters. Well, actually not scoring it. I'm going to cut it at 1.5 inches or 2.5 centimeters. And I'm just going to come down to that score line that we put here at 3.8 centimeters. Then I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to do the same again. 1 inch and then down, or 2.5 centimeters down to the score line. So now I have that there like that. Okay, pretty easy so far. What do you reckon? Alright, now we're done with the trimmer, so we can pop that away. And then I'm just going to grab my snips here and I'm going to snip that off on the score line that we have there already. So I'm going to snip that off. So this is going to be the outside of my box here, like that. And they will go into my little bag because, you know me, I don't waste anything. No scraps are wasted in this process. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to create a curve here and a curve here. Now, if you have dies that are big enough, I have some old circle dies here that are big enough. Just let me grab them out. Or just, you know, generic circle dies. Any circle nesting dies would be fine. And what you want to do is you want to pop this on here and you want to line up here to here and hang that off the edge of your plate. Okay, so I'll show you one way of doing it with the dies, and I'll show you another easier, well, not easier way, but another way if you don't have very large dies. So this die is about 12.5 centimeters roughly in diameter, 12 centimeters in diameter. So it's actually quite a large circle die. And let me grab my plate here, or my embossing machine. So what we're going to do is we're going to hang that off the edge here like so. And then we're going to just let our die go ahead and die cut off that edge. So we're going to run that all the way through, like so. But it's important that you're hanging this off your plate at the bottom. So if you don't hang it off your plate, it's going to cut the whole thing and you'll have a whole big circle that you're cutting. So let me show you what this is going to do. So we're going to just run that through. So I've run it all the way through. It's gone over the die. And then we've come up like this. And see how it's now cut our nice rounded edge. So it is a little bit easier, I find, with the dies. And then I'm just going to snip that off there, like so. And snip that off there just to finish that circle there. So we want that happening at either side, like so. So then we're going to pop that in here like that. We're going to pop our die back down here, like so. And then we're going to push that through again, all the way through and back, like so. So there we go. Oh. And then we're just going to snip that in here like that, and we're going to snip that in there like that. So there we go. It looks kind of like a genie bottle at the moment, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a circle go the other way, but we don't want to cut that. We want to just emboss that. So we're going to take away our plate. We're going to grab another clear plate. Oops, my other clear plate's in the other room. Hang on, I've just got to go and grab it because we'll be using it the other day. Okay, so you've got base plate number 1, you have your plate number 3, then you're going to pop your silicone mat down. Who doesn't have these silicone mats? They're the best mats ever. And then you're going to pop your piece of paper down with your die, and this time you're going to go the opposite way, and you're going to make the 2 corners here meet with your die going like this. Now don't stress, it's not going to cut. All it's going to do is emboss that circle shape for us. It'll feel like it's doing nothing. It really does. It feels like, oh, well, you know, it's taken a Sunday drive. But you can, I don't know if you guys can see that, but see how it's embossed now, the shape, and it's done it through on both sides for us. Alright, so then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to emboss this here, like that, and we're just going to emboss that shape onto our little box. So what we're making is a pillow box with our dies and our DSP. Alright, so there we go. See how we've got now 2 sides here. So then what we can do is we can just gently shape that round like so. Now don't worry, if you don't have those dies, I'm going to show you another way how we can do it without the dies. It's a very, very simple way, and you will all be able to do it without the dies. Alright. So see how now that just falls into place because we have die cut that, or not die cut it, but we've shaped it. So see now how we've got our 2 sides on the side here. All right. Okay. Let me just get rid of this. Oh, I need that still. Sorry. Now I need some sort of die to make a little handle. We need a handle. So let me see. I think all these dies are going to be slightly too big. And I'm going to show you too what I've done with all of my new, so these are our new embossing folders, or not embossing folders, dies and stamps. And I'm going to show you what to do with them and what I've done with them in my thing. But I think all of those are going to be a bit too big for where we need it. So I'm just going to grab my perennial postage dies out. Now you can use a dies. There's an old punch called the label punch that was a really good punch to be able to use, and I know not everybody would have them because it's a really, really old punch. That just shows you that I've been around for a very long time, right? Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pop our little handle in, and we're just going to lay that at the top here. So where our fold is here, this is our fold here at the top. We're just going to roughly eyeball that and center it in the middle here, like so. Oops, let me bend that backwards. Center that like so, and then we're going to run that through the embossing machine, forwards and back, like so. And then that's just going to make our little handle for our little bag. Alright. So I can now pop that away. Alright, so then what we're going to do is you're going to grab, whether you use your circle dies as well or a punch. I'm just going to grab a 1-inch punch. I think we've all got 1-inch circle punches that we own or in our stash. I'm just going to punch on one side of this here. Now, if I had a directional piece of paper, this one would be the back of my box. So this would be the front of my box here like that, and then that would be the back of my box. So, alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab some glue, and we're just going to pop some glue just on the handle bit here, and glue that handle together. So we're going to glue that there, and while we're waiting for that to glue up and dry, I'm going to set that aside for a minute. I'm going to show you what I've done with all my new storage as such. Okay, so this is what I've done. This is how I'm going to store all of my folders. I like the fact that I can just flip through and see what I'm looking for. It's all in a flippy sort of system, like so. And I can just go through. I have stamps and dies all together. So stamps at the front and dies at the back. If it's just a stamp, I've just got the stamp in it, so that's a stamp there. And then what I've done on the inside here is I have stamped the clear sheet. So this is the thick sheet that you get with all of your stamps and stamps. And then on the back here, I have stamped the pattern onto the clear sheet. So let me show you how I've done that with this other one that we've got here. Okay, oops, I'll pop this back over. So let me show you with this New Haven, Creative Haven stamp set, how I've done that. And then basically they just get popped back in to my folder like that, so I can then flip through them. So this was how I'll be storing them, and then it just sits, if you watch my video from a couple of weeks ago, you'll see that I've just got them in front of me on my new storage system that my dad made for me. Alright, so this is how our stamps come. They come with our, you get them in a folder on their own, and they come like that. So basically what you see on the front is slightly smaller than what you see like in RL, or in real life. But what we're going to do is we're going to flick this open like so. And then I'm going to grab my Stays On ink. Now I know we're not supposed to use Stays On ink on clear photopolymer stamps, but we're only doing it for a quick hot minute, okay? We're going to pop the Stays On ink over our stamps here, and they're all still aligned up. I haven't removed them, so I haven't used them yet. And I'm going to stamp them onto my clear piece of acrylic here. So I'm just going to line them up as though they were going to get stuck back down, and we're stamping them down onto, now you want to give them a good rub, like so, onto that clear plastic piece that comes with the stamp set, right? Like so. So then when you go and you peel it off, you're going to be left with your template of what the stamps look like. Then I just come back in with my little scrubby piece and my Stays On remover, and just rub over very quickly over my photopolymer stamps here to remove all of that gunk. So this is an old Stays On remover, Stays On cleaner scrubbing pad that we used to sell. So it can be a bit of a messy process because you might get some Stays On you, but that's alright, it'll come off. Okay. So now that's removed all the Stays On. Now this process will stain your stamps. I don't care that it stains my stamps, because that means that I've used my stamps, that I've actually used it. Now this is our old stamping scrub, and I like to use this with our mist, and just go back over it again. So that's going to give them another good clean over with our Stays On, and get that Stays On off. And then they're as good as new. As I said, they will stain because Stays On is a permanent ink, so that ink there is not going to come off now. But there we go, all nice and clean, ready to go for the next job. So I'll just grab my chamois now and just wipe off all the excess stuff there. Like so. And then I'm just going to put a lid on that because I could end up seeing my fingers going to go put in that. And then what I did was I opened up my sleeve here, grabbed some tear and tape, and then I just popped some tear and tape. So this is the inked side. So this is the side with the ink on it. You don't want to flip it over. You want the side with the ink on it, like so. And then I'm going to peel this off. I'm going to peel this off. So this is what I've done to all of my new stamp sets. The new stamps and how they come. And then I am just going to simply pop that in there like that. So then I have my acrylic pattern there, or acrylic layout, that tells me what stamps are meant to be there. So then I can just go ahead, like I would normally with my clear stamp cases, and put my stamps down onto that clear sheet here, like so. And then I know if there's any missing, and if they're not. So this is how I will be storing them. If you're not entirely sure yourself how to go about it, feel free to use this design. So hopefully that helps some of you with how to store, and then the heavy one will just go on top and then it's done. And then that's how it'll go into the folder with the dies as well. Alright, so let's get back to our box now. So I'm going to use this big one here that says, "Friends like you are golden." So we're just going to block that one up there. And because I know now my stamps have already been used, they've been conditioned, haven't they? Alright, what colour? I might use some Lost Lagoon. I think let's go Lost Lagoon. And I'll grab a scrap of white here. So we're going to ink up our big stamp here. And I am going to grab a matte, a silicone matte here so I can stamp on it because they are photopolymer. I'm going to ink that up, and then we're just going to stamp that down like so. Good morning, Kim. Oh, daylight savings, yes. It can get anybody. We're making boxes, and these boxes will sit flat until you're ready to use them. So, alright, and then we're going to grab our dies out, and we're going to die cut that one out here. So let's die cut that out. So I've just grabbed my die cutting machine, and we'll die cut that one here. Now, as I said at the start of the video, this is my 5th year. We have celebrated 5 years of doing Breakfast with Bec. And as a celebration, what I'm going to do for everybody that places an order between now and next Saturday that's over $50 at my online store, I'm going to give away a $100 voucher. So, you know, you've got a chance to win $100 of a voucher. You're going to go into a draw. Everybody that enters is going to go into a draw, and you may win your money back plus then some. And that'll be a shopping spree with me, $100 shopping spree with me. So, you know, jump on the online store, have a look and see what you're after. Now, this suite that I'm using today, unfortunately, you won't be able to buy as a customer, but as a new demonstrator, if you were to sign up to my team, you would be able to add this to your starter kit. Unfortunately, that doesn't count towards the promotion that I'm running, because we can't actually add anything to our starter kits. So, alright, I'm just going to cut out these little leafy pieces here. What colour do you think I should do? I'm thinking maybe if I did one in Lost Lagoon and maybe one in pretty petal pink. What do you think? Oh, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. What colour do you think I should do? So I was thinking of doing one in Lost Lagoon. Grab a bit of scrap for that. We go Lost Lagoon like that. And then pretty in pink, do you think? Pretty in pink? Or petal pink? Let me grab some petal pink out. Petal Pink. Pretty. Or will Lost Lagoon get hidden with that? Maybe I should do in some white. Let's see what happens when we do it in white. Let's grab some white scrappy pieces here. Let's just do a couple of them and see how we go. Alright, so I'm just going to jump back in here and go like that, and then like that. Oh, there's my clip plate. Here we go. Oh. And we're going to die cut those out there. Oops, that one slipped off there. We need to add that one back on. We'll run that through. Like so. And then grab our little take your pick tool. And then pop that in. Like so. Oh, these are very pretty. Look at these little leaves. Aren't they gorgeous? And then I might just do one in the green, just so we can, you know, compare the pair and see which one we like the best. Or maybe I might put all three on. We'll see. The one thing that I must say has stayed constant when I do all my lives is my little neck roll to keep my neck warm. So that is a one thing that's been constant in the whole time that I have been live on. And I know a lot of you have watched me for the full 5 years. Like you've been there since the start, so thank you for being with me. Alright, so now back to our little box. So like I said, this one with the holes in it here, now that our top piece has, like, the glue has dried in here, now what we're going to do is we're just going to simply fold this back piece in with our little notch in, like so, and then the front piece will come forward, like so, like that. And then the back piece goes in, and then this front piece comes forward like that. And it creates this gorgeous little pillow box. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And you can fit quite a few Ferrero Rochers in there, or, you know, Lindt chocolates, or whatever you're sort of wanting to pop in there. And then I'm just going to use the little, the slit punch. This is one of a trio punches. So I'm just going to line this up, center that like that, and then use this gorgeous ribbon, garden green chevron ribbon. This is a new one as well, and I can't even find the end of it. Let me grab the end under here. I don't like taking the plastic off until I really have to take it off. And let's grab, I don't know, maybe about 30 centimeters or so. Snip that off, and then we're going to tuck that through there like that, and that's going to come around the back of our box here. Oops. And we're going to tie a bow. Bows on Facebook Live are fraught with danger. So it doesn't let go on me, like that. And then we're going to do a little bow here, like so. Now, because we've put the bow around the handle there, that doesn't mean to say it's going to come off, okay? So now we can stick these guys down. So I was thinking maybe if we go like one here, like that, and then one like that, and then one like that maybe, and just do a little cluster of flowers down the bottom there like that, just to add to our little bow. Or do we pop it? I like them all together. I think that looks pretty cool, like that. Do we pop it up here maybe? Oh, up there looks quite pretty. Let's pop it up there underneath our bow. Let's do that. Alright, so we're going to just glue those three together. Like that. Like that. I've got some other boxes that I want to show you that we created on Tuesday. And I've also got to show you how to make it without the dies if you don't have the dies. So let's just pop that aside there. Now I'm going to grab that other piece that we've got here, So this was our other half of the pillow box. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. So remember, this is 6 inches wide, or 15.2 centimeters, and I just want to show you how you can do it without using the dies. Okay, so, and 28 centimeters long is what we need. And then I'll show you, we're going to score it at, so if you were doing it you're going to go 3.8, and we're going to score. Then you're going to go 14 centimeters and score. Then you're going to go 24.1 and score. Okay, so that's if you wanted to do it that way. And then you're going to fold it, which gives you your 2 score lines anyway, which is what I showed you at the start. Okay, and then we're going to cut this down to the first score line at 1 inch, or 2.5 centimeters. I'm going to go down to 1 inch, or 2.5 centimeters, and then we're going to snip this in. So remember, it's the same, you do it the same all the time. And the beauty about this box is it sits flat, so you can make a whole ton of these, have them sitting flat wherever you need them to be, and then you grab them out as you use them. Alright, so now to create our circles, if you don't have the dies, what you can do is just simply grab a bowl from your, stash, from your kitchen, or a plate, either one, a bowl or a plate. So you just need one that's going to fit and make the same sort of diameter. So this bowl here is quite a good size here. So we're just going to draw a line, and I'm making sure that my bowl lines up here, and you could make a mark on this side if you wanted to as well, but it's not necessary. You're going to grab a pencil, so you just want it flush here, and then you're going to run your pencil around here like so. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So if you don't have the dies, as I said, it's a little bit easier with the dies, but if you don't have the dies, using the bowl is sort of your next best option. Okay, so now we've got our 2 circle pieces there, and then you're just going to trim it. Now the other thing you could use too is your tear and tape roll, so anything so long as it's circle. Okay, and then we're going to come in here, and we're going to trim around this side as well, like that. Okay, and now we've got to create the inside join. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your take your pick tool, and on the end of your I'm just trying to find my take your pick tool that has my stylus on it. On the end, or when you get your take your pick tool, in your little box you have one of these tools which is called a stylus. So if you take your pointy piece out and grab your stylus and pop your stylus in on the fatter end here, and then you're going to pop your like this. You're going to pop your box back on. You're going to make sure it lines from corner to corner here, and then you're just going to use your stylus to score the line around your box like so. And then you're going to do the same on the other side like so. Like that. And then that's going to give you the same thing. You're going to be able to then crease those lines around like so. Okay, so it's the same process, except if you don't have the dies, you can do it with a bowl like so, and like so. Now it hasn't quite gone through on the other side of my box here, my score line, so I'm just going to pop my little box back down here and run the embossing part back around like that. So I'm just using the stylus to make it a groove into the paper, so I know it's going to fold on that bend. Okay. Alright, I hope you are all following along with me. I don't have many questions going, can we see that again, or anything like that, so I'm hoping that you're following along. Okay, so then you've got the same groove there, and as I said, if you've got any little punch, let me show you the punch that I was referring to a bit earlier. So So a lot of you may have this in your stash, but this decorative label punch is a really great punch. It's I don't get rid of any of my punches. I have a whole stash of them, and I just love this one. And if you have like any sort of skinny label punch, you can pop that up here as well, and then we can just punch that out to make our little handle as well. And then once again, you grab your, so if I was to use this side of the paper, for example, and it's directional, this would be my front of my paper here, and this would be my back because it's upside down. So I would then punch my holes here into the back panel so that these are the pieces that get tucked in. Okay, so let's do this side. Let's see what this side looks like when we fold it around. This would be nice with some hand cream put into the little bag, wouldn't it? Like so. And like so. And like so. Alright, and then we're just going to glue that top panel down. So you're just gluing the handle part down. Like that. And then we'll grab our little box back in here while we wait for that to dry, and I'm just going to tuck that back in there like that with a bit of glue. So you know, you can make this as decorative as you like. You could, you know, make your tag however decorative you want it to be. Let's just keep this simple for Facebook Live today, just so that you can see how it comes together. But basically, that's your little box once you're done. And then when you want to store it and you're not ready to use it yet, you simply open up the pouches on the inside here. And you open up this one here. And you put your little finger in your little hole that you've made. And they sit nice and flat. See? Nice and flat for you to store while you're not using them. So, I hope that helps. And let's see. We'll see if this is dry enough so that we can tuck it in. See what this looks like with the pattern on it. I like them with the pattern, but as I said, you've just got to bear in mind that your pattern goes to the back when you're doing it. Okay, like so. The glue's probably not quite dry enough yet. I've got to wait for that glue to dry. It's going to pull apart at the top. But anyway, let me show you the ones that we made at the team meeting. So we did a Christmas one here. So these are all sitting nice and flat at the moment. So here, what have we got? There's 5 little boxes sitting flat all together here. So nice and flat, you know, ready to go when you're all ready to use them. So we have this little Christmas one here. And this just folds in. See how you just grab it and you fold them in? So you've got a Christmas one, and then we made some floral ones as well. And you just pop them all in, and they just all, you know, miraculously go back into shape. So there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed that one today, and you are going to attempt to make some of these little boxes. They're quite easy to do, whether you've got the dies or not. Very, very simple and easy to do. So, and this is the one we made today. Friends like you are golden. And you see, we just tuck our sides in, and then you just tuck the back panels in like so. So there we go. I hope that's helped some of you today. We didn't even put any of our little gems on. But like I said, if you're wanting to get your craft supplies at a discount, and I mean, who doesn't? You know, the best part about Stampin' Up is that you get your discount. So you can join and become a demonstrator, but you don't have to be like me. You can just be a hobbyist and buy your craft supplies at a discount. So, alright, so we have the join offer. We also have my $100 voucher, where you've got the chance to win a $100 voucher when you put in an order between now and next Saturday. $50 at my online store. You have to pop your order in. That doesn't include shipping, so you need to add the shipping on top of that. And then I will put everybody who puts an order in during the week, to go into the draw to win the $100 voucher shopping spree through me. So thanks for watching, and thanks for being here for the last 5 years. If you've been around since the start, I really appreciate it, and I wouldn't be here without all you guys tuning in every Saturday morning. And now you tune in on Wednesday as well for Wing It Wednesday with Beck. I just really appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you very much. I hope to see some of these boxes in our Craft with Beck group. If you're part of that Craft with Beck group, jump on over, answer a few simple questions to get in. We just want to keep everybody safe over in that group, and we share heaps of inspiration as well. So alright guys, have a wonderful weekend. I will see you all on Wednesday for Wing It Wednesday. If not, I'll see you next Saturday for Breakfast with Beck. Alright, bye for now.